Okay, guys, welcome to reading today. Today we're going to read an article about Susan B. Anthony. So, born February 15th, 1820 at Adams, Mass., Susan B. Anthony was a pioneer crusader for the women's suffrage movement in the United States and president. Suffrage means voting, of the National American Women's Suffrage Association. Her work helped pave the way for the 19th Amendment Constitution, giving women the right to vote. So she was born February 15th, 1820 at Adams, Mass. Anthony grew up in a politically active family. They worked to end slavery and what was called the abolitionist movement. They were also part of the temperance movement, which wanted the production and sale of alcohol limited or stopped completely. Anthony was inspired to fight for women's rights while campaigning against alcohol. She was denied a chance to speak at a temperance convention because she was a woman. Anthony later realized that no one would take women in politics seriously until they had the right to vote. So, along with activist Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Anthony founded the National Women's Suffrage Association in 1869. Around this time, the two created and produced The Revolution, a weekly publication that lobbied for women's rights. Later, the pair edited 3 volumes of History of Women's Suffrage together. Anthony was tireless in her efforts, giving speeches around the country to convince others to support a woman's right to vote. She even took matters in her own hands in 1872 when she voted in the presidential election illegally. Anthony was arrested and tried unsuccessfully to fight the charge. She ended up being fined $100, a fine she never paid. When Anthony died on March 13, 1906, women still did not have the right to vote. It wasn't until 1920, 14 years after her death, that the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution giving all adult women the right to vote was passed. In recognition of her dedication and hard work, the U.S. Treasury Department put Anthony's portrait on $1 coins in 1979, making her the first woman to be so honored. Okay. Some of you might have heard of Susan B. Anthony before, so says what movement was Susan B. Anthony a pioneer crusader for? So it was really the women's right to vote. She also had some for ending slavery and also temperance, but she's most well known for her crusade to get the women the right to vote. Give 2 examples how Susan B. Anthony paved the way for women to gain the right to vote. Well, one, she voted in that election illegally, trying to show basically women, basically to advocate for them getting the right to vote. She wasn't afraid of getting arrested and getting fined. The other thing you could say were all the publications she did, those books about the women's right to vote. If we go back to the passage, it would be, she founded the National Women's Suffrage Association. She produced The Revolution. All those are good examples. Okay. Number 3, what is the main idea of this text? Basically about Susan B. Anthony pioneering the way for women to have the equal opportunity to vote, just like men did. Okay. That's it. It's a really short one, you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. I think next couple weeks we're going to be taking a break. We'll post stuff though, and there's going to be some information coming in Remind to. We have a bunch of worksheets for math that I've taken out of the B classroom. So be kind of next week sometime, we will send a Remind text letting you know kind of what's going on about that. We're going to try to have some appointments where if you want to come in and pick up some worksheets, you'll do that. But we'll send a Remind text out next week about that. All right, you guys, have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll talk to you guys soon.